It's recording. All right. Hello, everyone, and welcome to another video on my YouTube channel. This is I Want, teaching people how to self-develop themselves faster with education from older people telling themselves how to develop in confidence in other fronts of their lives. So today we have an amazing guest. Her name is Julianna Carbonare. She is 21 years old. She was raised in an Italian-Colombian family. She went through 2 years of post-secondary education in the culinary program, but college wasn't cutting it for her. She decided that at the age of 19, she would go live on her own in Madrid in Spain. She has two passports, not including her US passport. She continues her education in something called Praxis, a path that she chose on her own to launch her career without a degree. She has her own blog, and on top of that, she knows Adobe Illustrator like the back of her hand and uses this to create brand books to help businesses really get their vision and their ideas out there. So please, help me in welcoming Julianna Carbonare.
Oh my God.
Julianna, how are you?
I'm very good. That's like the first time I think in my life I've gotten an intro like that. I think I can get used to that.
Well, I'm happy to give it to you. You definitely earned it. So I had been looking into your content, and one of the things that really caught my eye was your blog post about your vision board. So I definitely had a few questions on that because I personally use my vision board, but I wanted to get like an inside view on what you do personally and how you use it in your life to help others. That sound good?
Yeah, absolutely.
All right. So my first question for you is, what is a vision board?
Yes. So vision boards can kind of take different forms depending on the person and what they want to get out of it. The most traditional definition of it would probably be like a big white poster board that somebody then cuts out and pastes images of things that they want in their future and images of goals that they want to achieve. And then other forms, like this year, I made my vision board as my computer desktop, so I did it all digitally. And sometimes people just cut out words and sentences and affirmations, and they'll then post that on a poster board. So essentially, it's just kind of a way to goal set and use visualization to achieve what you want down the line.
That's really, really cool. Awesome. So how does a vision board, cutting out, things that you like or images or words even, how does it incorporate into your life? How does it improve who you are as a person?
Yeah, and that's kind of a question that a lot of people have, especially if you consider yourself more of a skeptic. Something like cutting out images and gluing them on a piece of paper, you're like, how is that going to do anything for me? I like to think of it in kind of two definitions. If you are that skeptical kind of person, you can look at having a vision board like a reminder. So every day when you wake up, if you have this board with images kind of portraying the person that you want to become, you're going to see that, and it's going to register with you subconsciously that I need to work on this. Today I need to take the daily steps to get to where I want to be, which is represented on this image I've created for myself. If you are more into the new agey spiritual side of things, a vision board can take a much deeper meaning, kind of tying into law of attraction. So once you put these things out into the universe that you want to achieve, you might start noticing that fragments of that begin popping up in your life in coincidental ways. And you just begin attracting the things in a crazy path to get you where you want to go. So on both sides of the coin, I would say there are definite benefits, but you need to be clear about what you want out of the board in order to get the benefits that you want.
Wow, that's really interesting. I really, really enjoy that. So it's kind of like manifesting what you believe in on a board, and you just looking at it every day.
Absolutely, absolutely. So there's some people that actually believe that once they make the board, they don't need to look at it. They'll like put it in their closet away for the year, and they feel that they've already manifested that. I'm personally of the belief that I should be able to see it every day, which is why I have it as my desktop image, just to always kind of get that reminder and that energy back in me, like, this is who I want to be, this is what I'm working towards, these are the things that I want to achieve. But there is power in just making it, because once you put these images on a board, you have specifically called the things that you want in your life. So for example, if one of your goals is to move out of your parents' house and into a new apartment, don't just find an image of any old apartment. You should find the image of the apartment, like your dream apartment with a lot of light, and maybe it's a studio with a big bed. It needs to be the perfect representation, or the closest representation of what you actually want. And once you've called that, spiritually, kind of a new age explanation, the universe knows specifics. You don't just want the apartment, you want the apartment.
That's really, really fascinating. I really like that. Um, the next question I have for you is, you had a really, really good story on how you created your first vision board. Could you tell us more about that?
Yeah. So this is kind of what I wrote my blog post on. About 2 years ago, I was in a really down period of my life. I was confused. I had taken the decision not to go to school, and I was starting to doubt myself on that. I had done some traveling, which was amazing, but I was also at a point where I needed to work and continue making money to sustain more traveling. I had just been dumped by somebody that I didn't even really like that much, but it still left me confused. And it was just a strange time in my life. I felt really far from myself and all the things that I wanted myself to be, and all the things that I wanted to attract in my life. So one night I watched this movie with Salma Hayek, the Frida movie, which is based on the life of Frida Kahlo. And if you don't know who Frida Kahlo is, she was a Mexican artist who did a lot of self-portraits, and she had a very painful life, and she portrayed that all through art. And the movie was really powerful. It's still one of my favorite movies to this day. And it just really brought this energy and feeling into my life that we all struggle through pain and down moments, but the important thing is to reconnect with the self. So that night, something came over to me. I just wanted to paint, even though I'm not really a great painter. So I painted something and it looked horrible. And I just had this inner craving to do something creative, to make something with my hands. So I took an old poster board that I found, and I just started cutting out pictures from a magazine. And I ended up creating this really beautiful, inspiring image. And I didn't even realize what I had done at the time. But what I had done was create a vision board for myself. I created images and put them all together into a collage of what I want myself to be, what I wanted from my life. I actually have the board that I made with me. I pulled it out of my closet. Yes. But yeah, and the amazing thing is, when you make a vision board, a lot of people do it on New Year's, and they give it a 1-year limit. But life doesn't work that way. Not everything happens in this time span. The point of the vision board isn't just to put things down and say, this is going to happen for me. It's more like, I'm putting this out there, and I'm going to take the steps to get there. And as life goes on, I'm going to be put on the path to achieve those things. And the truth is that when I look at this vision board today from 2 years ago, a majority of the things that I put on that list have happened for me. And it's kind of an incredible feeling to look back and realize that.
Wow, that is really an incredible story. Considering you had no idea what you were actually doing, you just had an impulse to do it, and it ended up being something that people actually do to reach their goals. That's really cool.
Yes.
What has it done for you?
Yeah. So when I look at this one that I have right here, the big theme of that board was to move to Spain, because one of my longtime goals was to move abroad. So in that same year, I was able to accomplish that goal. And even though the end result of me moving to Spain wasn't exactly what I envisioned, I still achieved a goal and was able to experience and live a really beautiful new life for myself for a period of time. But the vision board, honestly, every year since that first year that I made it, I've made one. And I've made one just because I believe, number one, in active and conscious goal setting. I think that it's really important for people to know what they want. I think a lot of people are unhappy when they don't know what they want and they're not working towards anything. It's also a really good way to leave a little trust to, whatever your version of God or the universe is. I think that when you make a vision board, you're also accepting the reality that not everything is in your control. So when you put these things on a board, it's not like an I want like a Christmas list. It's like, I would love to achieve this. I see myself as this. I understand the work and commitment that it takes to get here. And I understand the whims of life that have to happen in order to take me there. But I'm putting it out there that this is what I want for myself. And there's a real power in kind of surrendering to that. So it's honestly the board, although yes, there has been beautiful benefits for me, it's also been a really big teacher in all of those lessons.
Wow, that was beautifully said.
Thank you.
So before I ask my last question, where can they find you?
You can find me on my website, juliannacarbonare.com. I'm actually currently redoing it. It should be done by the new year, hopefully, or at least in January.
Awesome.
But yeah, that's the best place to find everything that I write about and all the things that I'm up to.
Awesome. Great. And my final question, if you were to give your top piece to your younger version of yourself to improve their self faster, what would it be?
So advice I would give my younger self.
Yes.
Oh. I mean, I'm not perfect. I've made a lot of mistakes along the way. But I would tell my younger self to not get so caught up in the emotions of the moment. I'm very sensitive. I'm very emotional. And sometimes when something happens to me, it can feel like the whole world is crashing down. And I think I've hindered myself a lot in the past by having such strong emotional reactions to things. Mostly that means crying. But I think I've spent a few too many nights crying in my room. So instead of just enjoying life and focusing on the more beautiful things going on around me. So yeah, I think I could have gone farther with relationships, like friendship and romantic. I could have made better memories and learned more things if I took the focus off of those things.
Awesome. That was great. Well, Julianna, this has been an awesome interview. Thank you for shedding some light on, what you used to accomplish your goal of living in Madrid in Spain. And thank you for giving us your number one piece of advice for your former self. And hopefully that will help many, many others.
I hope so too. And thank you for having me, Adam.
Absolutely. All right. We will talk soon, Julianna.
All right. Bye.
Bye.